it might not be like a super out there statement to say like if you have players that and they're playing good, your team does well. And if they're not playing as good, your team doesn't do as well.
I think that's the end of the podcast. Let's
Yeah,
wrap it up.
we've solved
Everyone
it.
have a great time.
Headphones off.
Welcome to Court Captains, a volleyball podcast.
Where we talk all things Pro Volleyball Federation.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Nikki.
I'm Ian.
And today we're talking PVF Week 7, then an All-Star game, then also Week 7, and Fury gets their shit together.
Sweet.
It's a very exciting week for Fury,
Yeah.
despite having ultimately no representation at the All-Star game.
Yeah. Helped.
It probably did help them.
It probably helped. Okay, from the top, a little transactions update for those of you who are interested. We had some San Diego things go on. So Elise McGee and Reagan Pittman moved to the practice squad. Then we've got 20-year pro. I might butcher her name. Yelis Basa? Opposite? She was moved to active roster. She is Turkish and has played in a variety of countries
Wow. Yeah.
for 20 years. This might be one of those instances, not unlike Betty, where like, I don't think she played in college. I think she went straight to pro,
Yeah.
which makes sense for a lot of countries or places, outside of the US. So what does that make her? Late 30s. I don't
A
think that
lot
we've
of experience.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen her yet, but she's on the active roster. And then Columbus, Ashley Wentz moved to the practice squad, Paula Sarame back to active roster. I think I saw somewhere out there that she maybe was like on concussion protocol, which could explain practice squad instead of injury reserve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really have a separate designation for that.
They might not. This is an interesting thing. Like, we were given it a little bit of flack last time where we were like, why would you do this?
Mhm.
Maybe you can't prove a concussion as injury reserve? I don't know.
Yeah, or like we
Speculation.
were talking about if they, whether or not there's a minimum amount of time you have to be on the list.
That's another one.
But yeah, you would think then they would just have like a concussion protocol,
Sure.
designation. Because yeah, obviously if they're putting someone with a concussion on the practice squad, I don't think any other team's allowed to just be like, well, we're claiming them. They're in
Well, I
they're in
mean, but
concussion recovery.
like there in their definitions at the top says injured reserve. The player has been injured and must be cleared to be placed back on the active roster. Isn't that
Hmm.
just having a concussion and then you get cleared?
Yeah,
Like
being clear, whatever cleared means by whoever
yeah.
that is.
Why do we need to do practice squad?
I mean, I
Yeah.
sure hope so. I don't know
Strange.
what the heck it's about.
I
Okay,
think
Because
wait.
we've got a data hang up and it's just about,
The funniest part about all of this, to be clear, it's like, where did I hear that it was concussion? I remember now because I just pulled it up. She posted a photo and
Oh,
the caption was brain is cleared.
all right.
And
I
then
would say that's confirmed.
I think
brain
so,
is
but like
cleared.
also it's like maybe she was just had a mental block. I don't know. We can't really say for sure. But then Kate Georgiadis commented, shout out to fish oil, which
Hmm.
What?
is one way, I suppose,
Uh,
to clear. Ian's just laughing.
is
I
it a
just
joke or not?
It's really hard to say.
Uh,
But everybody else is very excited for her. Megan Lush said few. So she back. Anyway,
I
all that
mean,
to say,
okay, well, if we're speculating injuries, is Megan Lush injured?
she's not on the practice squad. I mean, the injury reserve or the practice squad, I guess for this matter. I've seen her in a boot. I think it's an
Ah,
ankle situation,
yeah, because she didn't play in the All-Star and she didn't play
yeah.
on Sunday.
right?
Yeah, I assumed it was an injury because I think she was the only outside of Lakator who obviously didn't go because of her injury. I think the only player on the roster that didn't get in. And I was like, this would just
Yeah.
be that would be mean.
Yeah, that would be
Like,
mean. I know. I
it's
was
like,
kind of looking at the distribution, how much like playing time people got.
yeah.
Honestly, we might just be telling on ourselves that we didn't watch the Fury versus Grand Rapids game because it looks like she didn't play the last two sets. So
Yeah.
there's a possibility that maybe she got
But I
injured.
never like, but that was the same. Yeah, I don't know. I'll look it up
Yeah.
from that set. But there's also we've seen injuries that they take someone out for precautions and they're back the next game,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
she
they're
did
just
post,
rotating. So
for what it's worth, she posted a few photos and she made the caption, "Back with my girls soon." So she
nice.
seems not worried.
Yeah.
She signaled to the fans, "Don't stress. This is just a little roll, you know?"
Boots just to keep it in place.
Nikki's
Correct.
got Nikki has got the investigative journalism happening.
I always do. It's
Yep.
called leaving a lot of comments and only following active players.
You're a reply guy. If
I
if we
unfortunately,
if
it's
we
oh, sorry, it's playing. Yeah, that's me. That's me. It's me. And Abby Benton posted like a everyone's saying volleyball in the US needs a superstar to help the sport grow. Who should it be? And I was like, I don't know. It seems like kind of a lot of pressure for one person.
nice.
There's room for a lot to share the responsibility. I just think if we get a do-over, let's not have it be all on one person and
Yeah.
watch that little 20-year-old
Nikki
brain
Nikki's throwing out like
melt.
the why pit women against each other, like
And what
just
about
because it's
mental
competitive
health?
sport. Yeah.
And someone replied, "That's a Nikki comment if I've seen one."
Oh man, yeah, totally.
So my reply guy soft behavior is beginning to speak for itself, I think.
Someone someone who listens to the podcast said that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Okay, final update from this week, Kendall White, season ending injured reserve.
Hmm.
It sucks.
I think it was her knee, is what I heard an announcer say. No caption to
Well,
support
what does
that
her
one.
Instagram say,
I know,
Nikki?
I'm sorry. I haven't seen anything come across my desk regard to this injury. But I do feel like beginning of the season they were saying it was a knee and maybe she's got to have a surgery or something. I don't really know. That's like what happened with Karis Watson and Shelley Fanning is like they had injuries and then once it made it to the point where it's like, yeah, you do need a surgery. They popped
Yeah.
them on that permanent injured reserve. So that sucks. Hope Kendall White recovers soon. That's it for transactions.
Wishing her the best.
Yeah.
I think now it's time for the Scorner.
Oh, sick.
Ian's Corner.
All right, Scorner started on Thursday, February 20th, with a quadruple header that began with the Atlanta Vibe at the Indy Ignite on YouTube. The Ignite throttled the Vibe in the third set on their way to four-set win at home. They lost the first of the Vibe 16-25, won the second 25-20, the third 25-11, and then finished it off 25-20. Huge hitting day for the Ignite. They hit 308 to the Vibes 213. Teeler again on her way to the All-Star game, finished off the pre-All-Star game portion of the season with 16 kills, hit 400, had two blocks. Caroline Crawford also had a huge game, 750 with 12 kills and two blocks as well. Decent hitting from Atlanta. On the day, again, obviously led by Leah Adman, who had 14 kills at 267, two blocks as well. But the Vibe held back by a decent amount of errors across the board, service, receiving, hitting, all kinds. All right, moving on. Vegas at Orlando, again on the YouTube. Orlando is flying now. They swept the Thrill and jumped Vegas in the standings. They won the first 25-15, the second 25-11, the third 25-17. Another monster hitting day, this time from Orlando. They finished 347, while the Thrill hit only 130. Kind of old news that Brittany Abercrombie is pretty good at volleyball, but in this game especially, showcased that 16 kills on only 28 swings. She had 536, had a block, 16 serves, no errors, an ace. And then Courtney Schwann Also a nasty game, 10 kills at 450. On the Vegas side, Berkeley Oblad had a decent game, 6 kills at 385, but overall the Thrill just really couldn't find a foothold in the game. It was a quick one. And then Columbus Fury at the Grand Rapids Rise on YouTube. It was a battle. And the Fury came back. They won the last 2 sets to win the match in 5 sets and continue their climb up the standings. They lost the first to Grand Rapids 16 to 25. They won the second in a long set 27 to 25. Dropped the third 22-25. Won the fourth 25-22. And then they won the tie-breaking fifth set 15 to 13. Really close one. Fun score lines all around in this game, but I thought highlighted by the setters on each side. Wilma Rivera had 3 blocks and 3 aces to go with her 32 assists, and August Rasky hit 571 with 4 kills to go with her 35 assists. Grand Rapids ended the night really a slight hitting advantage over the Fury. It was really close though, 238 for the Rise, 232 for the Fury. Kaylee Ramelsberg had a really good match, 10 kills at 474 with multiple blocks as well. And then Allison Bastianelli, another huge blocking night, had 4 blocks while hitting 429 with 7 kills. All right. After that, Omaha Supernovas at the San Diego Mojo on VBTV. The end of the quadruple header ends with the league leading Novas dropping the Mojo in 4 in front of the San Diego fans. They lost the first 22 to 25 and then won 25-20, 25-16, and then a really long fourth set to end the night 29 to 27. The Mojo hit a little better in that fourth set, but we're still out hit by Omaha that set as well as the rest of the night. And the Novas didn't really bother spreading the ball around. Brooke had 44 swings, Reagan Cooper had 45, and Emily Londot had 50. But it worked. You know, they won. So good on them. Really impressive night from Caitlin Horde as well. 529, 9 kills, and 6 blocks. Really tough day hitting for the Mojo outside of that fourth set. But Ronica Stone had a pretty good game. 3 blocks and 7 kills at 333. And that sent us into the All-Star weekend. New teams. Team Collier. Team Shondell. It's on national TV on CBS Sports. It's in front of 7,000 people in Indiana, and it was a good time. Team Shondell showed out. They won the All-Star match, 22-20 or 25-22 in the first set, 25-20 in the second, 15-10 in the third. It was one of those 3-set matches where they just add everything together at the end. Whoever has the most total points wins. And yeah, but it didn't really matter because they won each set, so they won every variation of the game. But really fun showcase in front of those Indy fans. Brooke didn't practice in the one All-Star game practice, still paced every player in the game with 11 kills, hitting 391, had an ace and a block as well. Saw an interview after, she said that it's made pretty easy when Childress is setting the ball for her. They know each other a bit and, didn't really need to have a practice to just go destroy everything. And then Brittany Abercrombie on the other side, 8 kills, 353, showcasing why she is maybe the front runner for the MVP this year. I don't know. Nikki probably thinks, yes, that she is the front runner for the MVP. All right. Back then to regular action. Sunday, February 23rd. The week ended Atlanta Vibe at Columbus Fury on YouTube. And the Fury are fully dangerous now. They won on both sides of the All-Star break. And this one they swept the Vibe, 25-19, 25-20, 25-23 on the day. Difficult circumstances, obviously, with the All-Star weekend for the Vibe. But, if we're going to let them off the hook a bit, then we'll give the Fury some credit as well for winning both their games this week. Isabella Rapage led the Fury, 15 kills at 371, one player of the week this week. Raina Terry also had a good game, 13 kills at 323. They both had multiple blocks. They had half the errors, the Vibe on the day, and just really in rhythm. The Vibe were not. Leah Edmonds still had a good day, 12 kills at 258, and Corey Lewis had 9 kills at 615. But after that, the rest of the Vibe team really kind of hit pretty butt. So they couldn't really get anything going, and that ended the week. The Fury, yeah, not in last place anymore. I think maybe second to last, third to last place, and they're hunting for a playoff spot now.
Wow.
But the opposite of nasty.
Yeah, but.
But.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah, it wasn't good.
On a
But, you
scale
know,
on a scale of butt to nasty.
yeah, it was very but
Quite.
Quite
again,
butt.
like I think, we're okay with giving them a little break. It was a weird week. There was a lot of traveling,
For sure.
but
Yeah.
still sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, standings wise, now we've got Omaha at the top, Orlando in second, Vegas, then Indy. Atlanta falls to fifth, Grand Rapids to sixth, Columbus seventh, and San Diego Mojo in the eighth spot. But again, very, very close.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Atlanta's played a bunch of games. I mean, they have same amount of wins as Indy, but two more losses. So,
Yeah,
don't know.
dunno.
Don't know. Anyone's game.
Well, what's important for us to talk about first?
Hmm.
Is it the All-Star game? And I want to know what you thought about the All-Star game.
I thought it was a good time. You know, it was. I felt like, as far as all-star games go, pretty competitive.
Tell
Not
me
not
tell
in,
me
not
more.
necessarily in terms of not necessarily in terms of like how close the game was, but like they were all seemed to be trying as hard as they could be trying. So they were hitting the ball pretty hard. So yeah, I don't know. Like I
What
said, I think it was like almost capacity for the Ignite place. Looked really good
yeah,
on
I think
TV.
they advertised it was sold out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sold out.
What is the general vibe of all-star games and other sports?
I would say that it's I think we talked about it a little bit in one of the episodes,
Hmm.
but mostly that a lot of the times has the vibe of people that don't really want to get hurt
Yeah, is it
in the
usually in the
All-Star
middle of
game.
the season?
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
football isn't, but usually it's like the midway break.
Okay.
Hmm.
But usually they have more than like 2 days.
Yeah, of
Usually it
break.
might be like 4 days.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest part timing wise that messed me up was just that the voting started so early and and that everyone was talking about who should be on it so early.
Yeah.
We've said this before, I think, but for the record, like the voting was not the only thing that got these players onto this team.
Yeah,
That seems pretty obvious to us.
I'm sure it had no consideration.
Probably very little. Probably like the top, we've talked about this, probably the top couple were like, yeah, you can be in because you're also the best. Like it was probably Brooke and Caitlin Horde because
And Leah,
Omaha has
yeah.
more fans. And Leah, yeah, sure. But for the most part, this did kind of seem to me like the best performers.
Yeah. Yeah. I
The
think the teams were well made.
Yeah, but if you think about it, we're actually not that far from the midway of the season. I was
No.
thinking this
Yeah.
was so weirdly early, but that's really because they were pushing it and asking us to like vote based off of only 2 weeks
Yeah.
of play. In the end, like I think it's a 17-week season and it happened during 8. So that's not terrible.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm sure
One,
like that's of course I'm sure there were scheduling concerns or scheduling decisions that were made, and they thought that this was like the right time TV wise to have it.
right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they're probably right. And like I think that they made a big deal about it being like the first nationally televised PVF game, and like I thought it came off well. It's just yeah, that voting was a little strange, but also if you just called it like the PVF showcase game or something, just like here are the best players from last year, the best players in the league,
Right.
and
That's not as flashy. That's not
yeah,
as commonly held vernacular. But
true.
I think that the three sets, third one to 15, interesting. I wonder when the last time these players have played a third set to 15 is.
Yeah.
Probably like a decade for some of them. They got a lot of folks in, right? Like I think I appreciated that everyone who wasn't injured saw the court for some
Yeah.
amount of time.
Yeah.
I thought that was important to the like resting the and get more
Yeah.
everyone getting an even amount of, I mean, it wasn't quite so even, but regardless, I think that that was important. Is that common, Ian, in
Yeah,
other
most
sports?
definitely.
Get
Yeah.
everybody in,
Like
right?
baseball, you're seeing like 30 pitchers go out. They want everyone to play. Not only because like I'm sure like they want to showcase all the players that are coming, but also it would kind of suck to be like, yeah, make this trip and then just sit on the bench and be like,
Yeah.
sorry, you're the backup for this All-Star game. So nobody will get to see you. That yeah, it's definitely like every when we talked about it before, like baseball requires every team to send someone. So even like I'm a Pirates fan, they're terrible all the time. They would never have an all-star most years, but they get a little Pirates player in. Every team has to send somebody.
Yep.
It's just to make people feel good. And yeah, I think it was well done.
Yeah.
How did you know that Brooke didn't practice?
They said they did a lot of like press stuff.
So there was an interview, like transcript of some kind.
Just in their breakdown of
Oh, like Omaha's
Team
post.
Shondell captures victory in historic inaugural PVF All-Star match. And that had like some quotes, mostly from Brooke and Alicia Glass-Childress.
Oh.
And Sydney Hilly had a big quote. And
But then like but then like Vibe put out their own press release saying the Atlanta
usually
Vibe
it's,
proudly had four players represent the
yeah, yeah,
team.
exactly. And
Hmm.
like every regular season game, like the Novas beat the Mojo, they'll have like a press release from
Yeah.
each side,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
summary from each side.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, the All-Star game one was longer. There's a lot of, yeah, this is why it's so important, Team Shondell Setter Childress said. It's why having a league here in the US is so important. It's why treating the league with the utmost respect and having an All-Star game and getting on major broadcast station on CBS is important. Just like, there's a lot of obviously about it being a growing sport and
Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity.
yeah, and it's interesting in a league that's this size because I think like in one way it is really helpful to be like, hey, what if you like Indiana, you're gonna have some players in the All-Star game to go see and just I think it's also helpful for people that aren't involved in volleyball to have an environment where they can go and someone can just tell them like, hey, just so you know, these are the best like 25 players in the league.
Hmm.
You can follow them to their teams and,
Yeah.
see what makes them the best players in the league because yeah, it's obvious that Brooke is really good when you watch Omaha play and
It seems like Indianapolis is doing a really good job supporting this team and like their new event center, of course. I think that's like they're probably excited about that, but I don't know, it's pretty awesome. Like
yeah.
we talk a lot about how Omaha is such a volleyball city or just Nebraska in general, I guess, but Indiana's there's
Oh,
something to
yeah.
say about
Volleyball
them.
state, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Here,
I
I'll
think
put it in
it seems
this
like a good PR situation,
Yeah.
right? I
Hmm.
mean,
for sure.
Way to not have it
the
in Omaha.
PVF, yeah, no kidding. PVF, the account got 100,000 followers. I think
Nice.
partially as a result of, the PR. Like they got a bump for sure after
That's
last
cool.
weekend. And well, I didn't catch all of this match, but I did watch probably like the first set and a little bit of the second. And I did think that the level was great. Like I didn't find, I mean, obviously, if you put the best in some sports, when you have an all-star game, the game like breaks down. So like,
Yeah.
right,
It
Hmm.
has no
basketball means
resemblance to
there's
like a
no defense.
regular. Yeah.
Yeah. Basketball all-star game, there's no defense, right? Everybody's just shooting like crazy. And it's kind of similar in baseball too, right? Like the number of runs that are scored
Yeah.
is higher than most average baseball games that you would see. Volleyball is a sport that, like, if you put the best people out there from the league, everything's still going to hold up. Like, I don't think that it looked too different to me than catching a regular season PVF game.
Yeah.
I would say that, like, the rallies looked like they went on even longer to me, at least in the first set, because everybody's defense was incredible. And
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, it was not, that would have been my, like it is, like you were saying in basketball, is just if, hey, sometimes you were like, I don't really want to super dig this Reagan Cooper smashing a ball in my face.
mhm,
Maybe I'll just not dig that one. But
right.
that wasn't really a thing that seemed like it was an issue in the
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
which was nice.
Reagan Cooper notoriously left off this
Yeah,
All-Star
of course.
All-Star roster. But yes, I see what you're saying. Like Brooke Nuneviller played great. And
Yeah,
I
especially
kind
that
of
first.
yeah, I kind of felt like she's who you're often looking at. I think she's still who you're looking at in this All-Star game as a person who is such a good, has great court awareness, is like an all-around great
Yeah.
player,
Yep.
impressive in many skills. And I think that when you put the best players from the PVF, you've got more like her, right? Who are like
Hmm.
able to cover a lot of space and be very like impressive, continue the play, make a really crazy dig or layout for a ball.
Hmm.
There was a lot of concern in chatting in little, social media conversations about like, well, they haven't practiced with each other very much. Will they really connect? And it's like, I don't know why in this instance I'm like, they don't need to connect. It'll go great. And in
Yeah.
regular season games, I'm like, oh, they must not be connecting. I don't know
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
I reserved the right to say that it doesn't matter this
Yeah.
time around, but it didn't seem to matter. I don't know.
Well, and that's where it's like, sometimes it does seem like if it's working, it does seem simple enough that, like, hey, set it at the pin and someone will hit it. And
Yeah.
then if the ball comes back over, we'll set it back at another one and they'll hit it again. And then
Hmm.
we'll see. So,
Yeah.
but Brooke did say, like, I'm sure so many of these women have played against or obviously against each other in this league, but with each other in places and college and,
I
you
mean,
know,
there is a
telling
certain,
Alicia Glass Childress what you do well. I'm pretty sure she can
hmm
figure it out.
yeah, she's a bro. They all are. But I mean, also, I think to a certain, like, they probably weren't scouting, right? There's like a certain level of like chillness
It's
Yeah.
fun. It's
brought
for
to this.
fun.
You're not trying
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
kill anybody.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
trying to
It's
do
not
the
as
thing
it's
from
not
Meet
as
the Parents where you
serious.
break someone's nose in the
Yeah.
pool.
Or yeah,
It's not as
jaw or something.
serious. It's fun.
It is like really impressive though that, you know, some of them didn't practice, but they can still the there's still just the general flow of the game that you're kind of everyone's just on board with.
Hmm.
And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. There are things too that like you don't really try if you're setting. I'm thinking about setting specifically.
Hmm.
If you're setting people you just met, like there has to be a lot of like quick communication, and all of these setters are good enough that they're like, oh, you need that a little more here, no problem.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff you just don't like do in this scenario. You don't like run some crazy
You
Right.
just
cross
keep
play.
it
Right.
You
simple.
you don't like you're running slides with middles and an occasional one ball. You're probably running like the same tempo to every outside. You're not
Yeah.
pushing anything like crazy. Like you just go revert back to like we just met. How can I
Yeah.
get you a kill? So that gives
Yeah.
you some like time and space to take your approach, this thing that you've been doing for most of your life. Like
Yeah.
there's a way that you don't even draw up the plans as super.
Yeah.
And to your point, Kelly, no one's scouting to try to
Yeah.
like make something
Yeah.
work against somebody else. It's really just like a very fun and organized scrimmage.
Yep.
Here's the Brooke quote, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
After so she missed the practice. Said she spoke with Alicia Glass Childress and said, we've played together a little bit. She's so good. She knows the ball I like. I felt like it was pretty seamless as soon as we stepped on the court. I think something I'm known for is getting smart swings, using the block well, getting good shots. And I think that was working for me today. So it's just like, yeah, that seems simple. It's just like, hey, you know the ball I like, and I will hit that ball.
Yeah, I'll be there most of the time, and
Keep
I'll
giving
let
it
you
to me.
know if I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably because what? I mean, they were in San Diego on Thursday night. maybe she just didn't get there in time for like a Friday
Yeah.
practice,
The one
whatever time it was
practice
at,
they
you know?
had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry,
I'm not
real
gonna say
oh.
that she did something wrong.
No.
It's fine, Brooke. No problems.
One more thing about the advertisement of this match. Like the NCAA was promoting it
Oh, really?
on
Oh,
Instagram.
yeah. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
They
which
were
is I
doing all
think
those throwback videos. It was
what
really nice.
yeah, which I think is a pretty good tie-in. I like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. USA volleyball still
Oh,
notoriously quiet. Not
th
notoriously,
on a scale of
conspicuously.
butt to nasty,
We're gonna give it a
a butt.
Yeah. What's in the middle though?
what's
What's
in the
dead middle
middle?
of Bud and Nasty?
Butt and
What's
nasty.
the neutral?
Fine.
Hmm.
You
She
can do
did
better than
fine.
that.
We'll think on
They
it.
did
We'll
Right?
think on it.
fine.
Yeah, we'll
Think on
think
I
it.
on
mean,
that.
but no, when somebody's not playing well in this league in the regular season, it might be about connection. It's just and not practicing enough. It's just not we don't make the rules. That just might be what it is another time. You know?
I'm on board with that. Right? Like to me, it seems like just an infinite amount of practice. Like that's how you get the feel. But I think that was inculcated in me by my dad, who was obsessed with Tiger Woods and like Tiger's obsessive practicing.
I mean, what
But
boomer
it
dad wasn't?
exactly though, but then it turned out that he wasn't practicing. He was having sex with thousands of people because he was addicted to sex. The conclusions that they made based on his practicing time. Now he's practicing more and he's worse. Some of that's because he's old, but also maybe it's not the it's just about like you got to be in your lane.
I don't
And
know.
for
I feel
Tiger,
like,
that was being sex addicted and like,
yeah,
anonymous sex and weird stuff. And that's what made him good. You got
I
to
feel like,
find your anonymous sex.
sure, sure. I mean, but I think the more popular story is Michael Jordan and like him shooting X amount of balls every single day,
Yeah.
which I think did happen.
Sure, it definitely did
No,
happen. But
he
then
was
also there would
gambling.
be times, yeah,
But
then
also
there
the
would be times
gambling.
where he was like out drunk until 3 a.m. and then would still sauce on everybody.
Yeah.
Or it's like some of it, obviously, you can't.
Yeah, because
But it
he had
does
that
feel,
baseline.
yeah, that baseline of good. But yeah, like, I mean, it feels weird, Nikki. Obviously, as an outsider, not having played volleyball, it seems like such a thin line between playing really well and killing everything
Hmm.
and hitting like 110.
Yeah. Yeah, because volleyball is a game of mistakes.
And the adjustments seem like so small. Like the
You're
adjustments you have
counting
to make.
on, yeah, you're counting on someone else to make a mistake for you to get a point.
Yeah.
Like most of the time. Even if it's not like a physical mistake of like I tried to dig and I didn't get my arms around the ball. Like then there's
Hmm.
also mental mistakes of I didn't read it correctly or the blocker moved too early or late or whatever it is. Like it's still like a game of other people making a mistake instead of you going and doing a thing often.
Mhm.
And because of the team sport aspect of it and how much you absolutely need all of the pieces to come together, it's not a solo sport as golf is, and it's not a like there are still players in basketball who can be playing solo and make a huge difference to the point where almost the team feels like it doesn't matter when we talk about like the greatest of all time. Volleyball, you really can't at least two people have to touch the ball.
Yeah.
Like in order for a play to
Yeah.
happen. So I guess when I talk about practice, when we're talking about practice, what I feel is it's like scenario planning. So like
Hmm.
if we're down two and it's set point and we're in this rotation, what are all of the different options that we have and getting everyone comfortable with that.
Yeah.
There was an interview somewhere. So you know how I hate red zone. as a phrase. But there was an interview where I think maybe Raven Colvin on Rise, she said red zone. She referenced it. So she's like, yeah, we practiced, red zone, yada, yada. And someone was like, ooh, look, the players are saying red zone. And I'm like, yeah, stuff is going to become common phrasing.
Doesn't mean I have to like it.
It doesn't mean I have to like it. And also, like, we just called that the 2020 drills. Like that, those were like,
Yeah.
there's 5-point game, like,
yeah.
and you game to 5. That's really what it was.
Yeah.
I call it the 9th inning.
Or you call it.
Oh, thank you. Yes, indeed. What else? 2 minutes left
The
in the fourth
2-minute
quarter.
drill. Yeah, the 2-minute drill.
You call it you have 0 points, the other team has 3. You have to try to beat them.
Still try to beat them.
That is such a
That's
catchy
right.
name.
Yeah.
That is,
right?
That rolls off the tongue.
But do that drill. Do Kelly's drill in every single rotation, and like for every single rotation, try when you don't get a good pass, and then try when you do. Like you try every combination of what it can be, so that when it happens in the match, nothing is surprising or worrisome to you.
And of course, you're going against your practice team or the non-starting side that knows you very, very well.
Yeah. But that's then like, what do you think you feel then, like if you're Columbus at the beginning of this year, or the Mojo the beginning of last year, or now?
Scared.
Where you're like, you're doing all that, right? Like you've got coaches, you're pros, but it's still not working.
Well, that's where I think the scout matters.
Yeah, right. And
getting to know, and this is an interesting thing about why these two teams play for 6-7 weeks and then suddenly they're figuring stuff out. Like,
yeah,
that could be that like you figured out what sauce the other teams had and you found your way to beat it, right?
Yeah. But I mean, really, I guess it is different. I'm like thinking back to college. Like it is different in this scenario where you play the same teams over and over again, right? Everyone's playing each other a bunch of times, but like, because back in college, like your scout really only worked for maybe the first set, and then everyone changed everything, and then you have to adjust and go back to your scenario planning.
Yeah, and that's probably happening here too.
Yeah, but
you're
you
not
have a little bit
sneak up on anybody with something weird that they haven't seen from you.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You have a little bit more
what they
data.
change it to. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
as we head into the second half of the season, maybe we know nothing.
Maybe.
Whoa.
And maybe everyone just scrambles around.
A wise man knows that he knows nothing.
Whoa.
Yes, she does.
That's us.
Literary.
We're Socrates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
well.
want to talk about the competitive matches of the week?
Yes. Yes, I do.
The 5-setter.
That one was really fun.
Yeah. We knew this was going to be a good
so
match.
Close.
Yeah. Erica Pritchard with a good game again.
For sure. But still an injured Chimay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild for Grand Rapids to get everything clicking and firing on all cylinders, and then one player goes down, and they have nothing for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
And
wait,
they played
I have
really
a question.
well in that game, and it just didn't happen.
Who played right side?
Erica.
So, okay.
That's
We
what I'm-
almost called that.
I just realized that as I said that. I'm like, wait, hold on. These numbers, what are these numbers? What am I looking at?
Yeah, I said Paige.
This is
But actually, Erica makes sense from a blocking perspective.
yes. Yeah. She's got a little bit longer arms. Call back.
Paige had almost 100 swings on the day.
Good.
Yeah. I wonder what's happening with Carly, because I mean I don't know. That might be
I've been
it.
seeing this negative
Right.
69.
I think she got the player of the week curse.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We see
We've got that
sometimes.
now.
The curse.
The curse.
The curse is bestowed.
Bestowed.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we're seeing. She'll be back at it next week. Everything will be fine.
Yeah. But I think it was a good call to get Eric on the right side. That's cool. Good job. 21 kills is, I mean, it is a 5 set match. I always have to remind myself how many sets they played. I'm like,
Mm.
21?
That absolute number is a lot for a lot of games and not a lot for
Crazy. We have to look at the percentage.
percentage is average. Is Valeria Leon getting in a little bit? Is it in like the dub sub scenario? Because I see that she played in 3 of the sets and had 3 digs. And I thought I saw a photo of her. So it must be a dub sub situation, right? Or
Um,
serving for a middle, perhaps?
I yeah,
She didn't
because
serve at
it's
all.
I don't think it's a dub sub situation.
Oh, right, because that would be a setter.
You can figure out what position everyone played based off of where the setter is. So we know all the setters, and
Oh,
August started in rotation 1. So that you
is
mean
that what the numbers
so
are?
you meet yeah, she started in zone 1, so you know that the right side is going to be 3 numbers away from that. So that's going
Bro,
to be zone 4.
I used to think that used to, 10 minutes ago, 30 seconds ago,
Used to.
I thought that that was like something about the number of points you earned
Oh,
somehow.
and
Like
no one got more than 6.
Yeah.
but I never noticed that, but I thought it was like the number of points you earned. Like,
Or you're ranked. Yeah. No. Yeah. So then the star
that's
means that they
row
rotated
start.
in. So
Oh,
that's how I knew.
I knew that the star was that they didn't start.
Yeah. So then that's how I knew that Valeria Leon, it wasn't a dub sub situation because no one else has the stars like she
Right,
does.
in the same way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wouldn't be able to tell that I've been in the sport for 20 years. You really would be hard pressed to believe it.
And now we're calling back to our discussion last week, back to zones. Another application of
Zones.
this is
Wow.
reading the stat sheet and seeing what zone everyone started in.
Okay,
Is
great. So
Raven
not a
Colvin
dub sub.
is Raven Colvin a rookie?
Yes, she's a middle out of maybe SMU.
Purdue.
Gonna have to look that up.
Purdue.
It's Purdue.
Purdue.
Yeah.
Dang it. Shit.
Boilermaker.
There
She
is
had
someone
like a
there is a
pretty good game, but then also had 6 service errors.
oof.
So maybe that's who Valeria went in for, but we can't tell
I
that
don't think
for sure.
Valeria even
She
served.
didn't serve.
Yeah, she didn't serve.
Okay, then what the heck? Why was she in?
Just
There's no
receiving a
Hey,
reason.
let
couple.
her live.
Let her live.
She passed 2 total balls
Huh, that is
and
a
Three
had
weird.
digs.
3 digs.
Those are weird choices, no?
It's a little strange.
Huh.
All
But
right.
like all of
Oh,
those players we talked about, which all had pretty good games, were all on the team that lost.
yeah. So let's
Oh
move on
yeah.
to the
Let's
What
move
fury.
on.
happened?
I know.
Sorry, I got a little stuck there. That's my bad.
But that was one of
Um,
but I'm also saying like that they out hit. I mean, it was pretty much dead even
Yeah.
hitting wise. It
yeah.
was
Yeah.
238, 232, like negligent. But yeah, I don't know. Service errors, I guess.
Lots of service errors on
But
both sides,
yeah, both sides.
but Fury ended up having less.
Both sidesing the service errors issue. Both sides
Hey,
are bad,
there are issues
you
on
know?
both sides,
Yeah,
okay?
both sides have problems with serving.
Hey, it's important to not be
They're the
too
same.
politically partisan. So we need to make sure that we articulate there are both
We're in
sides.
you know what? I'm in the dig lobby. So
Stop supporting Big Dig.
Oh God. I'll be a part of Big Block. And Wilma Rivera had 3.
yeah, this was the game where I think in the scorner I shouted out just the setters. They both had fun games. August on the other
Yeah.
side had like 4 kills and
Yeah.
Wilma had 3 aces and 3 blocks.
Yep.
It was a good one.
Hmm.
Kayla Ramelsberg had a bit of a week. I think that maybe Wilma's starting to connect with her middles.
Yeah. They're definitely getting
Maybe.
them involved a little bit
It's
more.
happening.
The
Abby
middles,
It's all
Walker.
happening.
the middles have started blocking better as well.
I mean, Abby Walker still had 11 attempts in a 5 set match. So not my favorite
Yeah.
thing to do.
True.
But he's hitting more efficient and they weren't hitting efficiently.
Yeah.
We didn't even have that,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So at least they're moving in the correct direction. I feel
Yeah.
this is the game that Megan Lush went down
Yeah.
in like the third, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks like Raina, Terry, well, they and Jill got in a little bit, but they have been relying on Raina Terry, and she's been doing really well for a
Yeah,
rookie.
I
Um,
agree.
I think pretty consistent, honestly, which is it's a tough position to be in, play outside
Yeah.
as a rookie, I
Yeah,
think.
she had a really good game on that Sunday then against Atlanta when they swept too.
Yeah.
Although, it was all going pretty well
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah. They
Should we
just
talk about that
handled
one?
it. Yeah, sure.
Great. Okay.
Lot less subs happening for the Fury in this match. The last one there was a little maybe just looking at the stat sheet, you can see like a little franticness.
Mhm.
I'm sure it translated to the energy in the gym in a 5-set match. Whereas this quick little 3-setter,
Yeah, geez. Abby Walker had almost the same number of attempts in this three-setter
wow.
that she did in the five.
Okay.
And also hit 400 something. So good on her. Consistency. Raina Terry, you said, another really
Yep.
good game. And player of the week,
Izzy.
Isabella Rapach.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was tough. I mean, like I think we talked about Mary Beeson a little bit before it had a tough game this one, and
Yeah.
it was she had a weird all-star game too because her numbers weren't great, but also I think she ended one of the sets with like 5 consecutive points.
Mm,
And yeah, she's been one for them that just like it might not be like a super out there statement to say like if you have players that and they're playing good, your team does well. And if they're not playing as good, your team doesn't do as well.
I think that's the end of the podcast. Let's
Yeah,
wrap it
we've
up.
we've solved
Everyone
it.
have a great time.
Headphones off.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't, she only had like 3 kills on on the Sunday game.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yike. Corey Lewis, I think I might start to lead her fan club.
You might stand.
I might be standing it because 615 on 13 attempts is nasty.
How do you feel like if you walk into a locker room and you hit 615 and the whole team, including your numbers, hit under 150? What is the general
You're like,
vibe? Like,
I did
are
my
you looking
job.
around like
I
what
did
the
my
fuck?
job.
Yeah,
Don't know what your problem is, but
this isn't about me when you guys are getting yelled at in the
yeah.
team talk.
Yeah, you just kind of stand back and you let everybody else make eye contact with coach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You let her look everybody else dead in the eyes.
And you kind of give one of those like I don't know how do you
yeah.
This is
describe
I'm
like
not
a
mad. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
it's when you pass
Like,
someone on the street that like maybe you kind of make eye contact with and you kind of give them
yeah.
like
a
a
I've
little
heard that's like a super Midwest thing,
oh
oh,
just
our
to
bad.
do like the
The closed mouth,
close
almost a
yeah,
grimace,
which
but
I
a
do all the
polite one.
time. Yeah.
A polite
close
grimace.
mouth smirk smile thing.
Smirk. That's a good one.
It's
It's
just
fun
really
to
like an
try to describe
acknowledgement that
face.
you
Yeah.
recognize someone else is alive
You
near
know what?
you.
Correct.
You know
Yeah.
what? There is a specific picture of a dog that has gone viral that is making this face, and we will post it with
Okay,
the
cool.
episode.
All right, yeah, send that over to me.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
got
Corey
it.
Lewis
Making
after this game.
making eye
Making eye
contact with the
contact.
coach.
Just mhm, mhm.
Yeah, and letting coach probably be like the only one that did shit today was Corey. Like,
That been there. That's tough. No, just kidding. I don't get any attacks,
I
any
mean, so
kills. I
like
don't produce any points. So
but they're officially under 500 now. They're 6-7
yeah, the ups and the
outside of the
downs for the
playoff
Atlanta
spots.
vibe. Yeah, I said on our Instagram yesterday that I think it's going to be a fight for the top four among these top five. Now, am I slandering Grand Rapids and Columbus with that? Yes. I'm sorry. But that's what I think. I think that Atlanta is going to continue to be streaky, frankly. And I think that they're going to have to fight to get back up there. But I do think those top five are going to be fighting for the top four spots.
Yeah, because Atlanta earlier on the quadruple header, they lost to Indy. It
Yep.
was a
Oh,
two-loss
yes.
week for them. And
That's tough
that
stuff.
included one set where they scored 11 points in a set.
It was chaos.
Wow.
Yeah. It's tough.
Complete and utter chaos. That set.
But that's
What?
an Indy win without Lekator.
Right.
They came off
CC
their good
Crawford.
showing. Yeah.
We thought that was coming. We thought
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
might
they
be
took
able to pull it
Atlanta.
off.
Remember, they took Atlanta deep and
Mhm.
lost the week before and then beat them in 4 this week. So
Yeah, Cece Crawford went off. Question: do you think that her middle name also starts with a C?
I don't
Or do you
know.
think that CC is Caroline Crawford's nickname and then we do a double
I think it's
Crawford?
I think it's that. I think it's
Caroline Crawford
CC.
Crawford?
Oh, wait, what? I think the
CC
CC
Crawford.
comes from her first name, last name.
Okay, so that means that like technically what you're saying when you say CC Crawford is Caroline Crawford Crawford.
yeah, like ATM machine.
Yeah.
This
Yes,
is really
Ian.
you're saying automated teller machine.
Got it.
Kelly, I don't know that Kelly's got it. Do you
No, I got
it?
it. I got
Okay,
it.
okay. You just didn't think it was funny?
I'm getting there. I'm getting
Dead-eyed,
there.
like
Hold on. Delayed
is-
laugh. Oh,
Oh no. Not an actor, are we?
what are you talking about?
Oh,
We're
nothing,
doing good puns.
nothing.
I nailed that. Anyway, CCC did great.
Triple C.
Also,
Triple
I
C.
love Johnny Healer.
Oh my God, she's destroying
I
the
can't
last like 4
believe
weeks.
it. What's happened? I
She
mean,
hit
like, just
400 against Atlanta, 16 kills.
and she's digging. Blocking was the very impressive thing for me in her game the first couple weeks of this season. Then the hitting numbers so consistent, and now she's digging as well. I'm just so happy for her.
She's picking up the slack where, the Lekator getting injured.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
told you I was inspired. She had a quote after that happened where she said, Lek going down really sucks, but we know we're good. And I was like, well,
Oh yeah.
I'm in.
Hell yeah.
They know they're
Hell
good.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, hey, big news here. Elena Scott with the libero.
Oh yeah,
Not
that was
in
a big
this
deal.
game.
And then Anna DeBeer getting in.
When Elena Scott got the start, everybody in the comments was like, finally, this about time. And I'm like, guys, Kylie Murr is an all-star.
Yeah.
Like, and she's probably seeing these comments. Kylie, turn
Yeah.
your phone off. You're a good
That's it.
Player.
Nikki's
Don't
just
look.
everyone in the PVF's mom now. It's like, dude, you leave Kylie alone.
Nikki's like,
I'll-
you leave
Listen,
Kylie
I'm the
alone.
age. I'm the age to be their big sisters. Ian.
Nikki's like,
Don't
I'm getting
do
bullied
that.
online.
Yeah.
Kylie's getting bullied online.
Stop bullying. It's about time. Elena
Nah,
Scott should have been
bullying's
starting the
awesome.
whole year. No, shush. But she did play well.
Yeah. It's
It's
just
not
tough.
Kylie's
That's
fault.
what leads to trades, right?
I think
Like
that we're
there's-
gonna have one.
They're rich in that area. So they can look to make a move to strengthen other parts of the squad.
Yeah, it's interesting. So Vegas got swept.
Tell me more.
Well, I thought that this was going to be a really good game, and
Yeah. And then they
I didn't find
they
it
hit
to
like
be.
butt.
They did.
Like this is pretty the disparity between the two hitting
Uh-huh.
percentages are rough.
Yeah, no, for sure.
What
Brittany
happened?
Abercrombie, though, I'm going to say it right now. I think she's
536.
MVP of the year. I
Is
think
that
she's player of
just
the year.
because Ian suggested it earlier?
No,
Yeah, I got
I
out
said it
ahead.
to him.
Okay.
I got out ahead of it.
Yeah.
Only because you said it out loud on the
Nikki's
podcast
copying me.
officially
She is
sooner.
yeah.
No, actually, I'll give that one to you. I don't know why. I don't have to lie on that.
She
hill.
is like
It was
one of the
definitely
most
you.
consistent players in the league, I would say.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
And highest point scorer, I'm sure. I'm also quite impressed with Natalie Foster continuously.
Oh, yeah.
Their middle.
Vegas threw everything at the wall and nothing stuck, is what happened there.
Yeah, they tried.
They put
Yeah, so
Grace
that-
Loberg
that's
in.
a-
They
or-
put
or
Willow
last-
Johnson in.
Yeah. Our last team psychology then of the day is like they were flying high for a while.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're sliding now.
Yep, they are.
What,
What's happening there?
What do we try
This-
and do? Do you just cling to like, well, we were good at the beginning of the year and it'll come back?
The
Just
title of
keep
this
at it.
definitely is like the team's.
what's-
We're the team psychologists.
What's our team psychology like?
This one's tough for me because how bad was their passing? I feel like
Bad.
that's been the issue.
38% and
Very bad.
17%.
Yeah, pretty damn bad. And this could be another situation where, like, switch your libero. I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, they
Well,
tried.
they did, but it's kind of late, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third set, what are you gonna do? It's funny because I feel like Vegas does trade on friendship vibes. Like when we talk about team chemistry, which maybe
Mm-hmm.
next time I'll do an analysis of team chemistry and personify it like last time. That was very fun for me. But
Yeah.
Vegas's friend girls. They're friendly girls. There's a lot of rookies, then there's Alicia. Like there's like it's an interesting dynamic.
Well, it's
And
an easy vibe to cultivate too when you're winning games and like
yeah, and you're having fun.
yeah.
And they did not look like they were having any fun this game.
No.
So then it's like, did someone get broken up with and then it just spread? Like, it's like then the energy is so
Like
precarious.
we fell for a jewelry scam.
No, that was Indy. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see him get it back though. I just feel like something was off.
Yeah.
I mean, still in third, still, they have as many losses as Orlando still, so it's not
Uh-huh.
like they're in crazy free fall or anything, but
Sure.
I mean, if we're gonna be real, Hannah passed half the balls and she didn't pass very well. So I
Hmm.
think you fix that, you fix a lot of things.
I agree. And they'll start week 8? Question mark?
Yeah,
Is that
whatever.
what it is?
Sure.
Yeah, whatever, indeed. Yeah, it's week 8. They'll start at Indy,
Yeah,
so
let's
it
hear
could be
the
fun.
let's hear the schedule.
Yeah, could be fun on Thursday. It'll be, I believe, the same time as Orlando at Omaha.
Yep.
Then a little bit later, Grand Rapids at San Diego, all on Thursday. Then we get a little Friday night break. Saturday, it's Atlanta at Orlando. Annoying flight alert. Orlando has to go from Omaha to Orlando. That sounds like Southwest to me. Then that's Saturday night at Atlanta at Orlando. And then after that match, later in the evening, is Columbus at San Diego.
Mm.
Sunday, we've got 2 matches. Indy at Omaha, Grand Rapids at Vegas. So a lot of 2 matches
What was
this
during the
weekend.
Oscars? Did they
Oh,
so
boy.
they went through and they thought about the Super Bowl, but they didn't think about my Super Bowl.
No, Kelly. They said, screw Kelly.
or in a
That's what they
gambling
said.
pool, Kelly. Do you make picks?
No.
Damn.
I enjoy everyone crying because their dreams came true. And I cry with them.
See, I'm more into I enjoy people crying because
You
people
have
are
a bet.
bullying them
You
on
have
the
a bet
internet.
that 3 people are gonna cry by a halfway point or
And
whatever.
you're like, yes. Oh, I hit the over on crying.
Oh, great. Well, that's a lot of volleyball for week 8.
Yeah, big week.
It'll be fun.
We'll be tuned in. Well, thanks for listening to Court Captains, a volleyball podcast. Please give us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you like what you're hearing. Support small podcasts. If you don't like what you're hearing, then please just go ahead and mind your business. Follow us on Instagram at CourtCaptainsPod and email us your questions or comments at courtcaptainspod@gmail.com.
Don't forget to be the captain of your own court.
Nasty.
I love Ian's like thoughtful.
Oh,
Yes.
Pondering.
Yeah.
yeah. Every year or every week it hits different,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.